All right, art students, welcome back. I'm going to consider this the first class of the first year because I am reformatting everything. I have been away for a while, but I am back. So I'm changing everything. So these classes are going to be based around action poses. We're going to focus on the action pose, and then everything is going to be focused around it, like perspective, foreshortening, all of that stuff is based on that. So the reason is because I've been all over the place with my drawing channel. So I want to focus on one thing so that you guys can understand how to draw from the one thing we do, and then we move out as we do that one thing. Hopefully you understood that. All right, so as I said, I'm going to change the name of the channel. I'm going to change the format. I'm changing everything. So this is going to be the first class of the new year for me. So I entitled this, What is Drawing and How Do I Learn to Draw? So basically drawing is creating an image either on paper or canvas or whatever, using paint, pencil, pen, whatever. So I'm going to show you guys how to draw from the very beginning, and after that we're going to move outward. All right, so one thing I always say, or I'm not going to say always say because this is the first class, one thing I have to say is the most important about drawing, and you probably heard this over and over, whether from me or someone else, your shapes. 3 simple shapes make up everything. If you look around your room, you will see that shapes make up everything. Pair of glasses, shapes, eraser shapes, mouse shape. Everything is made up of one of those 3 shapes. All right, so now when you consider drawing and you think about these 3 shapes, the way that you draw, or the way that you draw, is to take one of these 3 shapes, and we're going to have to do some things to these shapes. We're going to either have to twist them, bend them, grind them up, or extend them. There might be another one in there. But once you learn how to draw the shapes, the basic shapes, and you start to learn how to rotate the shapes, that's step 1. Step 2 is learning to cut away from the shapes. Step 3 is learning to extend the shapes. So if I take this square and I turn it a little bit, there's just a line right here, and I can do this to turn that shape into more of a cube. I'm looking for a pen. I don't want my videos to be any longer than 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. So you're going to have to take these shapes and learn to manipulate them. I should have got a bigger pen. Learn to manipulate them, turn them, twist them, extend them. The circle is going to be extended, which is going to be a cylinder. The triangle, let's just grind it off a little bit. Let's just chop this off. Let's take that off. Here we have that. Let's just chop these pieces off right here. We have this, something that looks like this. So that's what you're going to have to do with shapes. You're going to have to learn to turn them, twist them, chop them up. Once you master that, then you're ready to draw. Now, drawing is just taking one of these shapes that you took apart, twisted, turn. Speaking of twisting, let's just take the circle. Just take the circle. We want to extend the circle, which is going to turn to oval. And then if I bend it over a little bit like this, we have that shape there. And there's just a number of things that I could just show you with the shapes, but you're going to have to learn for yourself. And as I said, once you master that, then everything becomes so simple when you start looking at things as the shape. Don't look at something that's just, you say, oh, that's so hard to draw. See it as a shape, as its shape first. Draw its shape, and then you can learn to, as I say, chop stuff off, twist it, turn it, pull it, lengthen it, shorten it. Then it becomes easy. So after that, you're going to learn to put stuff in one shape in front of the other shape. So for instance, let's just say here is a square. I'm going to keep this one on in front of the camera. We have that square. We want to take a circle. We want to put that circle in front of that square. And since this is not a glass circle, we want to do this. And then take that triangle. Let's just extend, let's just take that triangle and just put it right here. And then erase that. Now you're starting to draw some things. So when you look at something, you can say to yourself, just like this, this is an oval. This has a circle on top of it. And this has a long rectangle through the circle. And that's basically simple. Or you can say this is square. Whatever shape, whatever easiest shape you see. Square that off, turn that into a rectangle, and then round the ends off. And then you have this particular shape for drawing, and the circle inside the circle right there. It's very, very simple when you start looking at that in front of it. Now, as I say, you start to put shapes in front of one shape in front of another shape, or on another shape. So for instance, if I did a face, oval, I'm going to take another shape, put it right here, take another shape, put it right there, take another shape, put it right here, take another shape, put it right here. A simple face, circle, circle, half circle, cut off, and a triangle with a little point right there. That's just basically how you start to draw. All right, so now if I start to take multiple shapes, let's just turn this over because it's quicker. Let's just say I start to take multiple shapes. I take this shape, and then I take another shape, and I put it behind it, and I put another shape behind that, and put another shape behind that. Now we're doing perspective. You're starting to do perspective by adding more shapes and putting them in front, putting shapes in front of one shape, or putting a shape behind another shape. The same way, if I extend this circle and I turn it into a cylinder, now I'm doing foreshortening, perspective and foreshortening. It all depends on how you take a shape and you turn it. That's why you have to master these shapes. You're doing foreshortening. Same thing when you do a person. When we start drawing people, it's the same thing. Each one of your body parts is a particular shape, and most of them are cylinders and ovals. All right, so when I draw this character, if I want to put that hand in front of that, then I'm doing foreshortening. If I take something and put it behind that character, then I'm doing perspective. What is this going to look like behind that person? What is the size of that person? If I'm doing it above the person, am I doing it below the person? So all of these things we're going to cover when we start to do action poses. So the key here is, as I say, learning to do the shapes. 3 simple shapes: circle, square, and your triangle. If you are not learning these shapes, if you're not stopping and drawing these shapes and learning how to master these shapes, then you are hurting yourself. A lot of us have talent when we can just look at something and we can just start drawing it because we just have that natural talent and we don't know why we can do it, but all you're doing is just repeating or drawing what you see without understanding that each thing is a shape. And the sooner that you understand the shapes and you start drawing the things as shapes, the easier, the quicker, the better you'll learn how to draw. Anytime I see something, I see what shape it is. The closest shape I can see to it, then I draw that shape. And then later I will come along and I will add detail, which is just another shape as well. Just like the chest, a couple squares there, the stomach. You have squares here, here, here. And then I'll start to round it out. I'll chop it off and add that detail, which is actually in that shape, or which will actually be in that drawing. So you have to master these 3 shapes. As I said, I'm going to keep my videos short because I'm I'm not going to drag it out. I'm not going to repeat myself over and over again like I'm doing right now. But I want you guys to learn and to understand how to draw, what drawing is, and how to draw. And as I said in the beginning, if you look around your room, everything is one of those three shapes. My keyboard here, just a bunch of squares, a rectangle and a bunch of squares. The what do you call this thing? It's just basically a rectangle with a circle rounded off right here. Open it up, it just extends. It's got a smaller square right here, but it's still a rectangle with a circle inside, and it's rounded off here, and it has a little triangle right here on the end. It's simple. Break it down. See the shapes when you draw it, and then draw the shapes first, then chop it up, round it off, cut it down, add another shape to it, and then you will become a master at drawing. And it's all about seeing what it is that you're drawing. So that's going to be it for this class. So stay tuned for more as we continue to get into this. So this is going to be the first one for this. Next one, we're going to start doing action poses, and we're going to break it down, shapes, foreshortening, perspective, as we draw the poses. So I'm going to make it easier and easier and easier for you guys. So come back and then let's learn something. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.